What is spiritual enlightenment? So, one was crazy. Enlightenment is actually not that deep, especially when you become enlightened. They always say you fucking laugh when you become enlightened too. You feel me? And there's two stages. You feel me? Like, and overall, it just means when you have discovered the underlying reality of yourself and all of the beings and things. You feel me? Which is all the same reality. You see, people would discover it, right, and then they have the enlightening experience. Then like the next week, they'll be right back to regular human emotion and shit like that. You feel me? So the truest enlightenment is you become firmly established in that underlying reality of yourself, all the beings, and the environment and your surroundings, and literally just everything. When you discover the reality behind literally everything, right, which is the same reality, when you discover that shit and you're firmly established in that shit, you have hit true enlightenment. When you truly discover who slash what you are, you have hit enlightenment. You feel me? Now, there's actually stages after enlightenment. So when you become enlightened, right, you'll do one or two things. You'll either leave and rejoin with the source type shit, right? Like you'll just eject out your shit, or you'll start cultivating your energies, right? And then doing some crazy shit, mainly becoming immortal. You feel me? Now by immortality, I mean when you can actually form an immortal body and put your awareness inside that body. What body is this? The astral body and shit. See, most people when they die, right, they split all over the fucking place and their main soul gets reincarnated. What you can do though is that you could die, right, and have your awareness along with your memories and stuff like that go with inside the astral body, and now you have the immortal body. Now there's different levels of immortality though, because the highest level of immortality is when you can literally exist on any plane and dimension. So it's like you could astral project, right, and have the immortal body, but you may not be able to project inside physical reality. Like I know Ryan Cropper himself literally said that it's kind of hard for him to get inside physical reality and shit like that. To get inside 3D, it's hard for him to project inside this shit. You feel me? With full immortality, you could literally go anywhere. And they say that when these people officially quote unquote die or like ascend, all they're gonna leave with them is just their skin and it's just their nails and their fucking hair. That's all you're gonna see because all their physical essence and energies got transformed into the immortal self. Because in order to become immortal, you need to hit enlightenment. Because the underlying reality of you and everything else is literally immortal. It doesn't die. It's always existing. So when you actually become established inside that shit, right, that's how you can form the immortal body. Because you unify with the immortal part of yourself, you feel me? And then like you can now form this astral body or immortal body and stuff like that, right? And depending on how well you cultivate yourself, you can literally go fucking anywhere. 3D, you could go to motherfucking literally you could go from literally 3D to fucking nothing type shit. You feel me? And people could also, right? They could literally create dual bodies. So they could have like this body right here and then project a body outside them and condense that shit into some physical shit. Now they'll have two physical bodies and shit like that. You feel me? And I know this shit may all sound crazy, but if you came for this video, you probably already believe in some crazy shit already. And I'm here to let you know like that's the next stage after enlightenment is immortality, bro. You feel me? Now here you gotta be careful with that shit though, because here's the thing. When you become enlightened, right? You discover the true reality, right? You have the chance to get the fuck off this bitch, you feel me, and just be free from suffering forever, right? While cultivating yourself to become immortal, you could end up losing your enlightenment. So that's actually something that could be lost, which is why people will literally become enlightened and then lose it. But the thing is, right, when you become truly firmly established, you won't lose it. You won't lose it. But just understand that the longer you stay in physical reality, the more you risk losing your higher awareness. You feel me? And you likely won't if you hit true enlightenment, but understand the fact that human beings, right, had a more spiritual form at one point. Had a more spiritual form at one point. We were already quote unquote enlightened at one point, and then we lost this shit, and now we're inside this state. So understand that it actually could happen again. Just that if you truly are on your enlightened shit, and like you don't separate yourself from the immortal self that you truly are, then you shouldn't lose your enlightenment by becoming immortal, especially because you'll also likely be able to start recognizing spirits, and you'll likely become aware of spirits, and then they'll always guide you and shit like that. And real quick, just know the fact that anytime you receive a thought, it's a spirit, bro. You feel me? Or entity, you call it entity that's sustained by your spirit, you feel me, or sustained by your soul, because you have physical spirits, mental spirits and spirits, as they could call that shit. You feel me? That's all your own entities, aka spirits that's sustained by your own soul or whatnot. You feel me? That's all your own shits. And then you have other motherfuckers that just come and see you and then help whenever they want to, or come fuck with you too. But anyway, if you receive a thought, right, and that shit is like, oh, that's a crazy ass thought. It didn't come from you. Nigga, how can you be impressed by your own thoughts if you always thought like that? You clearly don't always think like that because it's not fucking you. Just receive that crazy ass thought. It's something else. So when you hit enlightenment, you kind of get that whole being receptive shit. So even if you're going to end up losing your enlightenment, like if you're going to end up fucking yourself up somehow, you'll likely receive a message. You would just call it a thought, but it's an entity slash spirit. You'll receive an entity slash spirit or a thought. You feel me? That tells you, hey, don't do this shit, and you'll likely listen if you are receptive enough, and you should be receptive enough if you hit enlightenment. So, yeah.